The pen scratches across expensive paper. My hand doesn't shake. The Cartier fountain pen, the one Julian gave me on our 6-month anniversary, bleeds black ink across the signature line of the divorce papers. The clock on the nightstand reads 12:05 a.m. For minutes ago I was married. For hours ago I was in love. But right now, sitting on the edge of this California king bed in a $10,000 presidential suite, wearing a Vera Wang gown that cost more than most people's cars, I am something else entirely. I am free. If you've ever been abandoned by someone who promised forever, don't look away. This story isn't about heartbreak. It's about the 4 minutes that saved my life. The silk of my wedding dress clings to my thighs. It's heavy. Suffocating. 20 pounds of Italian fabric and hand-sewn crystals that sparkle under the amber glow of the suite's chandelier. The bodice cuts into my ribs. I haven't been able to breathe properly since 6 p.m. when my bridesmaids laced me into this beautiful trap. The scent of stargazer lilies floods the room. 200 stems in crystal vases, positioned on every surface by Julian's mother's decorator. The flowers were her choice. Everything was her choice. The venue. The guest list. The vows Julian read from a teleprompter because he couldn't be bothered to memorize them. I should have known then. The hotel room is silent now. The kind of silence that presses against your eardrums. Downstairs in the Venetian ballroom, 300 guests are still dancing. The DJ is playing At Last by Etta James. Our song, except Julian picked it because his mother walked down the aisle to it at her own wedding 40 years ago. My veil lies on the marble floor. Torn. I ripped it off when Julian walked out, and the antique lace caught on the corner of the Louis XVI chair. It tore down the middle. It sounded like paper shredding. Fitting. I can't do this, Ilara. Those were his first words. Not, I'm sorry. Not, I made a mistake. Just 5 words, delivered in the same tone he uses to cancel lunch meetings with investors he no longer needs. Julian stands near the door, already dressed in his travel suit, charcoal Tom Ford, the one that makes his shoulders look broader than they are. His suitcase waits beside him. Packed. Pre-planned. The leather is unscuffed, the monogram gleaming, just Julian Alexander Sterling. No room for my initials. There never was. He adjusts his platinum cufflinks. The ones I bought him for his 32nd birthday. I'd used my own savings, money I'd earned building the software architecture that would become the backbone of Sterling Cross Technologies. He'd smiled when he opened the box. Kissed my forehead. Said, "You always know what I need." Apparently, I didn't know he needed an exit strategy. Julian? My voice sounds distant. Like it's coming from the bathroom, not my own throat. It's been 4 hours since we said I do. There are guests downstairs. Your groomsmen. My parents flew in from Seattle. He doesn't look at me. His eyes fix on the door handle. Polished brass. He grips it. My mother was right. His jaw tightens. This was a merger that should have stayed in the boardroom. You're too much and yet not enough. The words land like stones in still water. Ripples spreading outward. My chest constricts. What does that mean? It means, he finally looks at me. His blue eyes are flat. Empty. It means you're brilliant, Ilara. You're the smartest person I know. But you don't understand how to be a sterling wife. You ask too many questions. You challenge my mother. You refuse to stay in your lane. My lane. I repeat the words. They taste like copper. Like blood from biting your tongue too long. Tell them I had an emergency. He opens the door. Cool hallway air rushes in, carrying the faint bass thump of the music downstairs. Or tell them the truth. I don't care. The door clicks shut. No slam. No shouting. Just the mechanical sound of a lock engaging. He's gone. I stare at the door. My reflection stares back from the full-length mirror across the room. The girl looking back at me is a stranger. Pale skin. Dark hair pinned into an elaborate updo that took 3 hours. Diamond earrings, his grandmother's, catching the light. Red lipstick that hasn't smudged despite the fact that Julian kissed me exactly once tonight. At the altar. For the cameras. I should cry. That's what happens in the movies, isn't it? The abandoned bride collapses onto the bed, mascara running, calling her mother between sobs. But I don't feel sad. I feel clear. Like someone just turned on the lights in a room I've been stumbling through in the dark for 6 years. 6 years of building his company while he took credit for my code. 6 years of smiling through his mother's passive-aggressive comments about my humble background. 6 years of convincing myself that love meant sacrificing pieces of yourself until you fit into someone else's vision. The sob rises in my throat. I feel it building hot and sharp. But then I look at the vanity across the room. At my bridal clutch. White satin. Tiny crystals spelling out Mrs. Sterling in cursive. I never wanted to be Mrs. Sterling. I wanted to be Alara Cross, the woman who revolutionized data encryption. But somewhere between Julian's charm and his promises, I'd let that woman disappear. Not anymore. I stand. The dress rustles. 20 pounds of fabric dragging behind me as I cross to the vanity. My fingers tremble, not from sadness but from adrenaline. From the cold, crystalline snap happening inside my chest. I open the clutch. Most brides pack tissues. Lipstick. Breath mints for the wedding night kiss. I packed paperwork. The prenuptial agreement Julian's lawyers forced me to sign 3 months ago. I'd read every word. Every clause. Especially the one buried on page 47, infidelity and abandonment clause. Should either party engage in infidelity or abandon the marriage within the first 72 hours, the injured party shall be entitled to liquidated damages of $40 million and immediate dissolution of all shared assets. Julian's lawyers had included it as a formality, a show of good faith. They never thought he'd be stupid enough to trigger it. But beneath the prenup, folded in a separate envelope, are the papers my own lawyer prepared 2 months ago. The ones I'd commissioned as a safety net, after I found the credit card statement showing charges at a downtown penthouse I'd never been to. Notice of irreconcilable dissolution. Pre-signed by a judge who owed my brother a favor. All it needs is my signature. I pull out the Cartier pen. The one Julian gave me with the inscription, "To my partner in everything." I sign. The scratch of ink on paper is the only sound in the room. 12:05 a.m. The shortest marriage in Sterling family history. I don't call a cab. I call my brother's private security detail. Marcus? It's Alara. I need a pickup. Presidential suite. And bring a locksmith. His voice crackles through the phone. Alara, what? We're going to Sterling Cross headquarters. I'm revoking Julian's access to the mainframe. Silence. Then, Christ. Okay. 10 minutes. I hang up. Place the phone on the vanity beside the signed divorce papers. In the mirror, the abandoned bride is gone. In her place stands someone new. Someone dangerous. If you've ever been told you're too much, or not enough, keep listening. Because what happens in the next 4 hours will prove that the best revenge isn't living well. It's taking everything they thought they owned and burning their empire to the ground. 6 years ago, Julian Sterling walked into the MIT computer science lab wearing a leather jacket that cost more than my entire semester's tuition. I was 23. Coding on 3 monitors. Surviving on cold brew coffee and the kind of obsessive focus that only comes when you know you're building something that will change the world. He leaned against my desk. Smiled. Said, "I heard you're the woman who can make data impossible to steal." I looked up. Blue eyes. Sharp jawline. Confidence that bordered on arrogance. "I'm the woman who can make data impossible to steal," I corrected. "Not the woman who can. The woman who does." He laughed. Extended his hand. "Julian Sterling. I run a startup that needs someone like you. Alara Cross." I didn't shake his hand immediately. "And I don't work for startups that pay in equity and pizza." "Good." He pulled out his phone. "Show me a number. Because I pay in cash and respect. And I'm looking for a partner, not an employee." That was the lie. The first year we worked 18-hour days in a shared office space in Cambridge. I built the encryption algorithm. Julian pitched it to investors. We were a machine. He'd present my code like it was a work of art, because it was, and venture capitalists would write checks before he finished the slide deck. Sterling Cross Technologies became a name, then a brand, then a $500 million company. But somewhere between Series B funding and our first Fortune 500 client, Julian stopped saying we. "I've developed a revolutionary encryption system. My company is disrupting the cybersecurity industry. I'm proud to announce this partnership." I told myself it didn't matter. We were partners. The paperwork said so. I owned 30% of the company. That was enough. Except it wasn't. Beatrice Sterling met me for lunch 2 years ago. The St. Regis. Private dining room. She ordered for both of us without asking what I wanted. "You're very talented, Alara." She cut her salmon into precise pieces. "Julian speaks highly of your contributions." Contributions. Not innovations. Not genius. Contributions. "But you must understand," she continued, "that the Sterling name carries certain expectations. We don't marry for love. We marry for legacy." I set down my fork. "I'm not marrying Julian for his name." "No." She smiled. Then, sure. You're marrying him because you've mistaken professional partnership for romantic destiny. But once you're a Sterling, you'll be expected to step back. Let Julian be the face of the empire you both built. And if I don't? Her smile widened. Then you'll find that Sterling blood protects Sterling interests. And you, my dear, are not blood. 3 months ago I found the credit card statement. Downtown Chicago. A penthouse apartment I'd never been to. Monthly charges, $15,000. Furniture deliveries. Wine shipments. Flowers. I hired a private investigator. Her name was Michelle Torres. 26. Marketing executive. Beautiful in the way that requires a team, personal trainers, stylists, monthly Botox. She wasn't the first. She was just the one stupid enough to use the shared credit card. My phone buzzes. Present day. 12:47 a.m. I'm still in the presidential suite waiting for Marcus. A notification. Credit card charge $847. The residences at Riverbend 12:43 a.m. Julian just checked into Michelle's penthouse. Using our shared Amex. For minutes after I sign the divorce papers. I screenshot the charge. Send it to my lawyer with a single message. Evidence. File in the morning. Then I smile. Because Julian just handed me an extra $10 million in penalties. Marcus arrives with 3 men I don't recognize. They wear black tactical gear. No logos. No names. Just efficiency. My brother looks at my wedding dress. His jaw tightens. Hell, what did he? Everything we thought he'd do. I pull a hoodie over the gown. It's Marcus's. It smells like his cologne, sandalwood and safety. How fast can we get to headquarters? 12 minutes. He hands me a tablet. Building schematics. Security rotations. Julian's biometric access points. I scroll through the blueprints. Sterling Cross headquarters is a 40-story glass tower in downtown Chicago. Julian's office is on the top floor. But the server room, the heart of everything, is in the basement. Subterranean. Temperature controlled. Biometric locks that require both fingerprint and retinal scans. Julian's fingerprints. Julian's eyes. Both of which I designed the system to accept 6 years ago. But I also built a backdoor. 3M. The lobby is empty except for a single security guard. He recognizes me. Smiles. Mrs. Sterling. Congratulations on the... Thank you, David. I keep walking. Marcus and his team flank me. We're just picking up some files. Wedding gift emergency. He doesn't question it. Why would he? I've been coming to this building for 6 years. I have access to everything. Or I did. The elevator descends. Smooth. Silent. The numbers count down. 40, 30, 20, B1, B2. The doors open to the server room corridor. Fluorescent lights. White walls. The hum of cooling systems vibrating through the floor. I approach the biometric scanner. Place my hand on the glass. The screen flashes. Elara Cross access granted. The door hisses open. The server room is cold. 58 degrees. Rows of black towers with blinking green lights. The physical manifestation of 6 years of my life. I pull out my laptop. Connect to the mainframe. My fingers fly across the keyboard. Access protocol. Administrator override user. Julian A. Sterling action. Revoke. A dialog box appears. Are you sure you want to remove all access privileges for this user? This action cannot be undone. I click yes. Julian's face disappears from the system. His fingerprints. His retinal scan. His admin passwords. Everything. How long until he notices? Marcus asks. He won't until Monday morning. I pull up the employee directory. Start removing his name from every executive email chain. Every shared document. Every client database. By then, the board will have received my resignation and my lawsuit. Lawsuit. I turn the laptop toward him. Show him the file I've been building for 8 months. Screenshots. Emails. Code repositories with timestamps proving I wrote 90% of Sterling Cross's core technology. Intellectual property theft, I say. And fraud. And breach of fiduciary duty. Marcus whistles. You've been planning this. Since the day I found the apartment. I closed the laptop. I just needed him to give me a reason to execute. My phone vibrates. A text from Beatrice Sterling. I hope you enjoyed your one night of royalty, Elara. The car will be there at 8 a.m. to move your things to a studio apartment. Don't make a scene. I stare at the message. Read it twice. Then I open my banking app. Transfer $40 million from the Sterling Family Trust. The account Julian's lawyers gave me access to as part of the prenup, into my personal account. The penalty fee for abandonment. I screenshot the transfer receipt. Send it to Beatrice with a single line. Keep the car. I just bought the dealership. 3 dots appear. She's typing. Then they stop. No response. Marcus's phone rings. He answers. Listens. His face goes pale. What? I ask. That was my contact at the St. Regis. He lowers the phone. Beatrice Sterling just checked out. Emergency. She's heading to the headquarters. I look at the server room. At the blinking lights. How fast can she get here? 20 minutes. I smile. Then we have 19 minutes to finish this. Beatrice Sterling doesn't knock. She has a key to every door in this building. She appears in the server room doorway at 3:47 a.m., wearing a black Chanel suit and pearls. Her silver hair is perfect. Her lipstick is perfect. Her rage is barely contained behind a smile that could cut glass. Alara. She steps inside. The door closes behind her. I underestimated you. Most people do. I don't stand. Don't stop typing. It's my superpower. Julian called me. Hysterical. Said you drained $40 million from the family trust. $40 million I'm legally entitled to. I finally look at her. Page 47. Clause 12. Abandonment penalty. You should have read the prenup more carefully before your lawyers handed it to me. Her smile doesn't falter. You think you've won. I think I've legally dissolved a 4-hour marriage and reclaimed my financial security. If that's winning, then yes. She walks closer. Heels clicking on the tile floor. You signed a non-compete agreement, Alara. 10 years. You cannot work in cybersecurity, data encryption, or any related field for the next decade. You may have taken your money, but you've also taken your career off the table. The words land. Heavy. True. The non-compete. I'd signed it the same day as the prenup. Julian's lawyers had presented it as standard procedure for executive spouses. I'd been so focused on the abandonment clause, I hadn't fought it. Stupid. So you can take your $40 million, Beatrice continues, and retire. Or you can give the money back, apologize to my son, and we'll pretend this night never happened. I close my laptop. Stand. The hoodie hangs over my wedding dress like armor over a corpse. I'll take option 3, I say. There is no option 3. There is now. I pull a document from my bag. Hand it to her. She reads. Her face goes white. This is, you signed the non-compete as Midnight Holdings LLC. Not as Alara Cross. Correct. And Midnight Holdings is a Delaware-registered shell corporation. Which means, you can still work. Her voice is ice. Under a different name. Under a different empire. I smile. One that's going to destroy yours. The conference room at my lawyer's office smells like leather and old books. It's 6 a.m. I haven't slept. The wedding dress is gone. I changed into Marcus's spare clothes in the car. Black jeans. Gray t-shirt. I look like I'm about to rob a bank. In a way I am. My lawyer, Patricia Chin, slides a folder across the mahogany table. You're sure about this? Absolutely. Because once you file, there's no going back. The Sterling family will come after you with everything. Let them. I open the folder. Inside are the incorporation papers for Midnight Technologies Incorporated, registered in Delaware. C.O.M. Cross. The M stands for Midnight. A legal fiction. A beautiful loophole. Patricia leans back. The non-compete specifies that Alara Cross cannot work in cybersecurity for 10 years. But it doesn't mention E.M. Cross. Or Midnight Technologies. And since I signed the non-compete as Midnight Holdings, a separate legal entity that you dissolved 5 minutes ago, the Sterling lawyers can't touch me. Patricia smiles. Genuine. Proud. You're terrifying. You know that. I've been told. By 9 a.m. I have a website. By 10 a.m. I have a pitch deck. By 11 a.m., I have 3 former Sterling Cross employees who'd quit after Julian took credit for their work. Midnight Technologies isn't just a company. It's a declaration of war. Our first product, a decentralized encryption protocol that makes Sterling Cross's architecture look like a child's toy. I've been building it in secret for 8 months. Every late night Julian thought I was working on his projects. I was actually coding my escape. The irony is delicious. My phone rings. Unknown number. I let it go to voicemail. 30 seconds later, another call. Same number. I answer. Hello. Miss Cross. Or should I say E.M. Cross? The voice is male. Amused. My name is Silas Thorne. I'm calling about your new venture. I freeze. Silas Thorne. Julian's biggest rival. The man who tried to acquire Sterling Cross 2 years ago and was rejected in the most humiliating way possible. Julian leaked the offer to the press and made Silas look desperate. How did you get this number? I make it my business to know things. Pause. I saw the incorporation papers for Midnight Technologies this morning. Very clever. The loophole, I mean. What do you want? To offer you $1 billion. The number hangs in the air. Impossible. Ridiculous. For what? For a partnership. You build the technology. I provide the capital and the distribution network. Together, we take down Julian Sterling and everything his family has built. Why would you help me? His laugh is dark. Sure. Because, Miss Cross, revenge is always sweeter when it's shared. There's one condition, Silas says. We meet. Face to face. Tonight. Where? The Apex Club. Rooftop. Midnight. The Apex Club. The most exclusive venue in Chicago. Members only. Billionaires and power brokers. That's Julian's club, I say. I know. His smile is audible. See you at midnight, Miss Cross. He hangs up. I stare at the phone. At the time, 11:47 a.m. 12 hours until I meet the man who might either save my company or destroy it. If you've ever been backed into a corner and forced to choose between safety and ambition, you know what I'm about to do. Don't stop listening now. Because what happens at midnight will change everything. Midnight. The elevator rises through 40 floors of steel and glass. My reflection stares back from the polished doors, black silk dress, hair down for the first time in years, no jewelry except the Cartier watch I bought myself. The wedding rings are in a drawer at Marcus's apartment. Evidence for the lawyers. The elevator chimes. The doors open to the Apex Club rooftop. Chicago spreads below like a circuit board. Lights in perfect grids. The wind cuts across the terrace, cold, sharp, carrying the scent of rain that hasn't fallen yet. Leather chairs cluster around fire pits. Crystal glasses catch the glow of heat lamps. This is where deals worth billions happen over whiskey and carefully worded threats. Julian proposed to me here. 2 years ago. Down on one knee beside the north fire pit. I'd said yes because I thought partnership and love were the same thing. They aren't. A man stands near the glass railing. Tall. Broad shoulders beneath a charcoal suit that fits like it was painted on. Dark hair. He doesn't turn when I approach, but he knows I'm here. Miss Cross. His voice matches the phone call. Controlled. You're punctual. You're cryptic. I stop 3 feet away. Close enough to speak quietly. Far enough to run if needed. Who told you about Midnight Technologies? He turns. Silas Thorne is younger than I expected, maybe 35. Sharp jawline. Gray eyes that reflect the city lights. A scar cuts through his left eyebrow. Recent. The kind you get from something violent. I have people who watch incorporation filings. He gestures to the chair beside him. Especially when they involve former Sterling Cross executives. I don't sit. Julian humiliated you 2 years ago. The acquisition leak. You lost credibility. I lost more than that. He pours whiskey into 2 glasses. Neat. No ice. I lost a company I'd spent 15 years building. Julian didn't just reject my offer. He weaponized it. Made me look desperate. Investors pulled out. Board members resigned. Within 6 months, I had to sell for 30 cents on the dollar. He hands me a glass. I don't drink. So this is revenge, I say. This is justice. He takes a sip. Julian Sterling destroys things. Companies. People. Marriages apparently. I want to ensure he never does it again. The wind shifts. His cologne reaches me, something expensive and dangerous. Cedar. Smoke. The kind of scent that lingers on your skin hours later. Why me? I ask. You could partner with any tech firm. Why a 24-hour-old startup run by a woman whose husband just abandoned her? Because you know his weaknesses. Silas steps closer. Not threatening. Just present. You built Sterling Cross. You know every line of code. Every client vulnerability. Every board member's dirty secret. And you want me to use that information to destroy him. I want you to use that information to replace him. He pulls out his phone. Shows me a document. This is a list of Sterling Cross's top 20 clients. Contracts worth $800 million annually. Every single one of them has an exit clause that triggers if the company's core technology becomes compromised. I scan the list. Recognize every name. I wrote half these contracts. You want me to compromise the technology? I want you to offer them something better. He swipes to the next screen. A wire transfer confirmation. $1 billion. Ready to deploy. Build Midnight Technologies into what Sterling Cross should have been. I provide capital. You provide genius. 6 months from now, those 20 clients will be ours. The number makes my hands shake. Not from fear. From possibility. There's something else you should see. Silas pulls out a printed photograph. Slides it across the table. I pick it up. My stomach drops. It's Julian. And Michelle Torres. But they're not at the penthouse. They're in a conference room. Sterling Cross headquarters. The photograph is time-stamped 3 days ago. They're looking at documents. Spreadsheets. Legal papers. What am I looking at? I ask. Embezzlement. Silas's voice goes cold. Julian's been siphoning money from Sterling Cross for 8 months. 2 million here. 5 million there. Routing it through shell corporations registered in the Cayman Islands. Michelle isn't just his mistress. She's his accountant. My breath catches. He's stealing from his own company? And framing someone for it. Silas taps the photo. Zooms in on the documents. I see my signature. My employee ID number. You. The city blurs. The lights smear together. That's not possible. I haven't touched the company finances since. Since Julian gave you administrative access to all accounts 6 months ago. Silas's jaw tightens. He planned this, Alara. The abandonment. The divorce. The public humiliation. He wanted you gone and discredited so that when the embezzlement investigation starts, you're the obvious suspect. I set down the glass. Whiskey spills across the table. Gold liquid spreading like blood. When does the investigation start? Monday morning. The board received an anonymous tip 2 hours ago. 48 hours. I look at Silas. At the scar through his eyebrow. At the city reflected in his eyes. If I partner with you, Julian will know. He'll accelerate whatever plan he has. Good. Silas extends his hand. Let him try. Because right now you're a woman who just lost everything. But by Monday morning, you'll be the CEO of a billion-dollar company with the best legal team in Chicago. And when the investigation starts, we'll be ready. I stare at his hand. At the offer. At the dangerous, impossible chance to not just survive but to win. I shake his hand. His grip is firm. Warm. The kind of handshake that seals more than business deals. Partners, I say. Partners. He doesn't let go immediately. And Alara? Welcome to the war. My phone vibrates. Text from an unknown number. You looked beautiful tonight. See you Monday. J. I turn. Scan the rooftop. The dark corners. The shadows near the elevator. Julian's here. Watching. Or he was. Silas follows my gaze. His hand moves to his jacket. Where a gun would be. How long has he been following you? He asks. I don't know. My voice is steady. Come. But if he knows about Midnight Technologies, then we need to move faster than planned. Silas pulls out his phone. Dials. Change of plans. We're accelerating the launch. I want Midnight Technologies operational by sunrise. He looks at me. Gray eyes reflecting something between admiration and concern. You sure you're ready for this? I think about the wedding dress. The signature at 12:05 a.m. The $40 million. The photograph of Julian framing me for his crimes. I've been ready since the day I met him. The Chicago Charity Gala happens once a year. 1,000 guests in black tie. $20 million raised for children's hospitals. The venue is the Lacuna Lofts, exposed brick, industrial beams, chandeliers made from reclaimed steel. It's supposed to feel authentic. Feels like a battlefield. I arrive at 8 p.m. Alone. No date. No entourage. Just me in a dress that costs more than Julian's first car. The dress is red. Valentino. Custom. Off the shoulder. Slit to mid-thigh. The kind of red that doesn't apologize. The kind that makes people stop mid-conversation and stare. They call it a revenge dress in the tabloids. I call it truth. My hair is loose. Dark waves down my back. Diamond earrings, the ones I bought myself after my first $1 million contract. No wedding rings. No markers of the sterling name. I am Alara Cross, CEO of Midnight Technologies. And I am done hiding. The doors open. A wave of sound hits me, string quartet playing Vivaldi, champagne glasses clinking, 200 conversations happening at once. The air smells like expensive perfume and ambition. Floral arrangements tower on every table. White roses, Black calla lilies, branches spray-painted gold. I step inside. Heels clicking on polished concrete. The conversations stop. Not all at once. Like dominoes falling. One person notices. Then another. Then 10. Then 50. Whispers ripple through the crowd. Is that Alara Cross? I heard Julian left her on their wedding night. She took $40 million. She looks incredible. I keep walking. Head high. Spine straight. The dress moves like liquid around my legs. Julian stands near the bar. He sees me. His champagne glass freezes halfway to his mouth. He's wearing the same Tom Ford suit from our wedding night. His hair is styled. His tie is perfect. But his eyes look hollow. Good. Beside him is his mother. Beatrice Sterling in emerald Dior. She sees me. Her lips thin into a line sharp enough to cut diamonds. I don't look away. I smile. Small. Polite. Lethal. Then I walk past them toward the stage. The gala coordinator greets me with nervous energy. Miss Cross, we weren't expecting you to attend tonight. After the recent events. Recent events? I accept a champagne flute from a passing waiter. You mean my divorce? That was 3 weeks ago. I'm doing quite well, thank you. She blinks. Recovers. Of course. Well, if you'd like to say a few words during the donor recognition. I'd love to. I hand her a USB drive. My prepared remarks. And an announcement. Announcement? About my new company. Midnight Technologies. We're launching Monday. I thought your guests might want to hear about it first. Her eyes widen. She looks past me. At Julian. At Beatrice. At the potential disaster of a very public confrontation. Miss Cross, perhaps now isn't the best time. Now is exactly the right time. I smile. Warm. Friendly. Immovable. Unless you'd like me to make the announcement on social media instead? I have 40,000 followers. Most of them are Sterling Cross clients. She takes the USB drive. I'll let the AV team know. Julian intercepts me before I reach my table. His hand closes around my elbow. Not rough, but firm. Possessive. Alara. We need to talk. I look at his hand. Then at his face. Remove your hand or I'll remove it for you. He lets go. Steps back. I made a mistake. Leaving you like that. I was scared. The pressure from my mother, the expectations. You were scared. I repeat the words. Taste them. They're sour. You were scared, so you abandoned your wife 4 hours after marrying her. And now you want sympathy? I want forgiveness. His voice drops. Desperate. The company is falling apart. The board is questioning my leadership. Clients are pulling contracts. I need you, Alara. We were a team. We were a team. Past tense. Now I'm the competition. His expression hardens. The mask slips. You signed a non-compete. You can't touch this industry. I signed a non-compete as Midnight Holdings. Not as Alara Cross. Your lawyers should have been more thorough. He goes pale. Actually pale. Like someone just told him his empire is built on sand. You're bluffing. Am I? I gesture around the room. Why don't you ask your clients? I've been taking meetings all week. Turns out, when you tell people their CTO was actually a ghostwriter for a mediocre CEO, they get very interested in switching providers. A hand touches my lower back. Warm. Steady. I know who it is before I turn. Silas Thorne stands beside me in a midnight blue suit. He looks like Money in Danger had a child. The scar through his eyebrow catches the light. Julian. Silas extends his hand. Julian doesn't take it. I believe congratulations are in order. I hear you're recently single. Julian's face goes red. What are you doing here? I'm Miss Cross's business partner. Silas's smile could freeze gasoline. We're launching Midnight Technologies on Monday. Full-stack cybersecurity. Enterprise-level encryption. Everything Sterling Cross does, but better. Faster. And without the ethical violations. You can't, Julian looks at me. At Silas. At the room full of witnesses. This is corporate espionage. This is competition. I step closer. Lower my voice. And you're about to lose. I excuse myself. Head to the bathroom. The women's lounge is all marble and gold fixtures. Empty except for the attendant, who nods and steps outside. I'm reapplying lipstick when the door opens. Michelle Torres walks in. She's beautiful. Objectively. Honey blonde hair. Perfect skin. Designer gown that shows exactly enough. She looks at me in the mirror. Alara. I cap the lipstick. Turn. Michelle. How's the penthouse? She flinches. Good. I need to talk to you. Her voice shakes. About Julian. I have nothing to say about my ex-husband. I'm pregnant. The words hang between us. Heavy. Impossible. I set down my clutch. Study her face. She's telling the truth. Or she believes she is. Congratulations, I say. Does Julian know? Yes. Tears well in her eyes. Real tears. He told me to get rid of it. Said it would complicate the embezzlement investigation. My breath catches. What embezzlement investigation? She looks at me. Really looks at me. And I see it, she's not the villain. She's another victim. Julian's been stealing from Sterling Cross for months. He told me it was company money he was moving for tax purposes. But it wasn't. He's been framing you. And now that you're gone, he's planning to frame me too. The bathroom tilts. I grip the marble counter. Why are you telling me this? Because I'm not going to prison for him. She pulls out her phone. Shows me a folder full of documents. Wire transfers. Emails. Recordings. I've been documenting everything. And I'm giving it to you. I take her phone. Scroll through the files. It's all here. Every crime. Every lie. Every piece of evidence needed to destroy Julian Sterling. Why? I ask. Why help me? Michelle's hand drifts to her stomach. Protective. Maternal. Because he told me you were cold. Ambitious. That you didn't know how to love. But you're not any of those things. You're just smart enough to see him for what he is. She walks to the door. Pauses. There's one more thing. The embezzlement investigation? It's not starting Monday. It's starting tonight. The FBI is in the building. They're waiting for Julian to make a move. The door closes behind her. I look at the phone. At the evidence. At my reflection in the mirror. If you've ever watched your enemy hand you the weapon to destroy them, you know this feeling. It's not satisfaction. It's something colder. Something final. Stay with me. Because what happens next will make you believe in karma. Monday morning. 9 a.m. I'm in my new office, a converted loft in the West Loop. Exposed brick. Floor-to-ceiling windows. 20 employees working at standing desks. Midnight Technologies is 48 hours old and already worth $200 million on paper. My phone rings. Patricia Chin. Turn on CNBC, she says. I pull up the live stream on my laptop. The cheer-in reads, Sterling Cross Technologies in crisis, major system failure. The anchor's voice is grave. We're getting reports that Sterling Cross Technologies, the Chicago-based cybersecurity firm, is experiencing catastrophic system failures across all platforms. Clients including Fortune 500 companies are reporting data breaches, authentication errors, and complete loss of access to their encrypted files. Cut to footage of Sterling Cross headquarters. Emergency vehicles outside. Employees streaming out of the building. Julian's face in a freeze frame, haggard, panicked, older than his 34 years. Sources tell us the failure originated from the company's core encryption algorithm, which was reportedly written by former CTO Ilara Cross, who left the company 3 weeks ago following her highly publicized divorce from CEO Julian Sterling. I watch. Don't smile. Don't react. Just watch. By 11 a.m., Sterling Cross's stock has dropped 40%. By 1 p.m., 3 board members have resigned. By 3 p.m., the company's largest client, a banking conglomerate worth $9 billion, has publicly announced they're terminating their contract. The press conference is brutal. We cannot in good conscience continue our partnership with a company that has demonstrated such fundamental failures in security and leadership, the bank CEO says. We will be exploring alternative providers, including Midnight Technologies. My phone explodes. 50 messages. 100 emails. Every Sterling Cross client wants a meeting, wants a proposal, wants to know if I can save them from the disaster Julian created. I can, but I make them wait. Tuesday afternoon. I'm at a coffee shop in Lincoln Park, meeting with a potential hire. When Julian walks in, he looks destroyed. Suit wrinkled, tie loose, hair uncombed, dark circles under his eyes like bruises. He scans the room, finds me, walks over. The coffee shop goes quiet. 20 people with phones out, recording. Ilara. He stops at my table, breathing hard. Please. We need to talk. I take a sip of my latte. I'm in a meeting, Julian. I don't care. He drops to one knee. Right there. In the middle of the coffee shop. Pulls out a ring box. Opens it. Marry me. Again. For real this time. Gasps ripple through the crowd. Phones angle for better shots. I look at the ring. It's different from the first one. Bigger. A 5-carat diamond that probably cost him everything he has left. Stand up, I say quietly. Not until you say yes. Julian, stand up. He stays down. Tears in his eyes. Real tears. I love you. I made a mistake. The biggest mistake of my life. But we can fix this. Together. You're the only one who can save Sterling Cross. The only one who understands the code. I understand the code. I set down my cup. Lean forward. I wrote the code. And I also wrote the kill switch. His face goes white. What? Did you really think I'd build your entire empire without a failsafe? I stand. Look down at him. At this man I once thought was my world. Every system I created has a backdoor. One that only I know. And last Monday at exactly 12:05 a.m., the same time I signed our divorce papers, I activated it. The coffee shop is silent. Phones recording every word. You sabotaged the company? I took back what was mine. I pick up my bag. The algorithm. The clients. The future. You got to keep the name. But the name doesn't mean anything without the genius behind it. I walk toward the door. Julian grabs my wrist. Desperate. Broken. I'll tell everyone what you did. I'll sue you. I'll destroy you. I look at his hand on my wrist. Then at his face. You can try. But you might want to worry about the FBI first. What? They've been building a case against you for embezzlement. 2 million in unauthorized transfers. Shell corporations in the Cayman Islands. They have recordings. Documents. A witness willing to testify. His grip loosens. You're lying. Am I? I pull my wrist free. Michelle Torres is a very thorough accountant. She kept excellent records. I walk out. The door chimes behind me. I don't look back. Outside, Silas waits beside a black car. He holds up his phone. Shows me Twitter. The video of Julian's proposal is already trending. #DesperateX. #SterlingFail. #Midnight Technologies. That was cold, Silas says. That was necessary. I get in the car. How many new clients today? 12. Including the banking conglomerate. I smile. Finally. Good. Let's get to work. That night, Julian sits in his empty office. The 40-story building is dark. Half the staff has resigned. The board is calling for his removal. His mother won't return his calls. His phone buzzes. An alert from the company's financial system. He opens it. Account balance, $47,000. 47,000. From 500 million 6 months ago. He looks at his computer screen. At the lines of code he doesn't understand. At the empire Elara built and he destroyed. He types her name into the search bar. Up comes Midnight Technologies. Valuation, $1.2 billion. Clients, 20 Fortune 500 companies. CEO Cross. He finally understands. He didn't lose a wife. He lost everything. His office door opens. 2 men in dark suits. FBI badges. Julian Alexander Sterling. You're under arrest for wire fraud, embezzlement and conspiracy to commit financial crimes. They read him his rights. Cuff his wrist. Led him toward the elevator. In the reflection of the glass windows he sees the city lights. And somewhere among them, Elara is building the future he threw away. The Opera House glitters. It's the Entrepreneur of the Year awards. Midnight Technologies is nominated in 3 categories. I'm the keynote speaker. I stand backstage in a black gown. Slick, simple, powerful. My hair is up. Diamond necklace, a gift from Silas for our 6-month anniversary. We're not just business partners anymore. We're more. The announcer calls my name. Applause thunders through the theater. I walk onto the stage. The lights blind me. Then my eyes adjust. Julian sits in the front row. He's out on bail. Trial starts in 2 months. He looks smaller. Like someone deflated him. Beside his empty seat, because Beatrice refused to come, is a woman I don't recognize. I approach the podium. Look directly at him. Success isn't about what you build, I say. My voice carries across 1,000 people. It's about what you have the courage to leave behind when it no longer serves your worth. Pause. Let it sink in. Some people think a wedding night is the beginning of a story. For me, it was the best ending I ever had. The audience is silent. Listening. I used to think being abandoned was my greatest fear. I look at Julian. His eyes are wet. Now I realize being kept by someone who doesn't see me was the real nightmare. Applause. Standing ovation. But I'm not done. So to everyone here tonight who's been told they're too much or not enough, leave. Walk out at midnight. Sign the papers at 12:05. Build something new by sunrise. Because the best revenge isn't living well. I smile. Cold. Final. It's taking everything they thought they owned and proving they were never worthy of it in the first place. Julian waits for me backstage. Security should have stopped him. They didn't. He holds papers. I want to void the divorce. Start over. I look at my watch. It's midnight. He looks confused. So, 1 year ago at this exact minute you walked out. You gave me a gift. What gift? The 4 minutes it took me to realize I was better off without you. I walk past him. He doesn't follow. The limousine waits at the curb. Silas opens the door. His tuxedo is perfect. His smile is proud. I slide inside. The leather is soft. The champagne is cold. The city passes by the window in streaks of gold. Did you tell him? Silas asks. Tell him what? He hands me a tablet. On the screen, a contract. Acquisition complete. Sterling Cross Technologies assets purchased by Midnight Holdings LC for $50 million. $50 million. A fraction of what it was worth. But that's what happens when the FBI freezes your accounts and your clients abandon you. We own it. I ask. As of 10 minutes ago. Silas pours champagne. The board voted unanimously. Julian is officially unemployed. Beatrice lost her voting shares. And Sterling Cross Technologies will be dissolved and absorbed into Midnight by end of quarter. I look at the contract. At the signature line. At the timestamp, 12:05 a.m. Full circle. What do we do with it? I ask. Whatever you want. Silas takes my hand. It's yours. All of it. The code. The clients. The empire. Through the limousine window, I see Julian standing outside the opera house. Watching us drive away. His world is ending. Mine is just beginning. I look at Silas. At the man who gave me the capital to destroy the man who destroyed me. At the partnership that became something more. The merger is officially over, Julian, I whisper to the window. To the ghost of my past. But the acquisition? Silas leans in. Kisses my temple. The car turns the corner. Chicago spreads before us. A city of lights and infinite possibility. That's just beginning. If this story taught you anything, let it be this. The best time to start over is the moment someone tells you that you can't. Walk out at midnight. Sign the papers at 12:05. Build your empire by sunrise. Because you were never too much or not enough. You were always exactly what you needed to be. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel and tell us where you are watching from.